So we get a call from Thomas. Anytime anybody calls in and says they have a problem with the draft, the first thing I do, go to the house and I look at this back wall back here.
What are you looking at?
So you can see how this particular area, the soot, is all burnt off.
All right, so the clearer color stone.
Yes.
No soot up on top. What does that tell you?
So that tells me that the fireplace is operating correctly because most of the heat is supposed to be down here. That's why you have that burn the way you do in that area. So I know this fireplace is working great.
So much heat that it's actually burning the soot off of that stone. Okay,
Yep.
and we like the heat obviously because that's creating the hot air, which is we hope will go up the chimney.
That's right. So basic principle of physics, hot air goes up. Behind this stone we have a couple components that we build, smoke shelf, smoke chamber. We make that into like a cone that meets at the bottom of the flue, and that's where the smoke goes up and out of the house. Once we have a proper draft, we know the fireplace is working well. So if someone still has this hue back here that we see, but they still have smoke coming back, we know that they've probably built the fire incorrectly.
So you're thinking maybe technique. All right, well let's see your technique for building
All
a
right.
good fire.
So the first thing we're going to do is add newspaper. All I'm going to do is crumple it up loosely, stuff it under the grate. I'm not going to worry about putting too much paper in because it's just going to burn, but I do want to leave enough room for the flames to catch. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my biggest logs and I'm going to lay them the long way in the grate. Like this. I'm going to leave a space in between the logs just so the flame can bump up. Now I'm going to take my medium logs and just crisscross the big logs like this. Again, I'm going to leave a gap in between the firewood. And the last thing I'm going to do is take my kindling, which I got in the backyard as well, and I'm just going to throw it on top of my second layer of firewood just like this.
So most people are probably putting their kindling down low.
So what I find is when you put the kindling down low, which is what most people do, you light the newspaper and the newspaper flame can't get up through that kindling. So that's when it gets stuffed and the smoke starts to emanate into the room. So what I want to do before I light the fire is I want to prime the flue. You can see it's already starting to pull smoke up.
So priming it meaning you're trying to get a little bit of heat moving through that chimney?
That's right, and that's going to let everything else go the same way. So I just wait for that. I'll go about halfway. And once I'm at about this point, all I'm going to do is dip down to my newspaper, kind of ignite it. And then I'll just put that on top. But you can see the flames being pulled up. That's because we primed the flue.
Not just pulled up, but you can see actually the flames coming off the paper going right between the big ones.
Right.
Right between the medium ones.
And you hear that crackle, that means we're getting some effect on the kindling.
I can feel the heat out here, but no smoke yet.
Right.
And you got sort of a very tall, upright flame telling you that's airflow.
So that's airflow, and again, that means all my mechanics inside were built properly because the flue is lined up directly with the center of our fireplace, and as you can see, that flame is being pulled right into the center. So, and another thing we should add is that hardwood, seasoned wood is always the best to use. You know, some people, you don't ever want to use pine. Pine can create some of that creosote that everybody is so afraid of.
All right, I think you proved your point, Mark. We got about a half hour into this fire. You got a good burn, no smoke in the room.
No smoke, and we were actually able to add a couple logs. So if you use this method of lighting a fire, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be great. If you do have that oddity where the smoke comes back into the room, you probably have some kind of blockage, or maybe the chimney isn't built high enough, so might be time to call the local mason at that time.
All right, good information, and thanks for the fire.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Thanks for watching. This Old House has got a video for just about every home improvement project, so be sure to check out the others. And if you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Make sure that you get our newest videos right in your feed.